Hello and welcome again to Prayer of the Faithless Part 2. We're playing through Red Nova's game. I haven't played in a while because various reasons. I got a little bit sick, but yeah. I think we've missed about 7 minutes of actual gameplay between Part 1 and 2, but so far we've just sort of started the prologue, and yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Let's get into it. Okay. Yeah, Wilder, yes. Have you come to confess? Nope, got nothing to confess. Okay. Sorry, but you can't go into the throne room. Ever since the prince's assassination, we can't take any chances letting anyone in to see the king if they don't have a reason. Okay. Hey, is that Dark Lion's Roar you have in your hand? I love that book. I think I can still see the indent on the spine from when Paladin Amelie threw it at you. I suddenly got a sharp pain in my nose. Why did you have to do that? Well, you were sleeping in the middle of one of her lectures, so you deserved it. But it was so boring. Why bother learning about the Hellspawn when we know that they're not around anymore? So we learned that Hellspawn aren't around anymore. Not around? Yeah, did you sleep through the most important part of the lecture? The Hellspawn are said to be immortal. They don't just go away. So maybe it's like people think that they've gone, but they really haven't. Really? There hasn't been a Hellspawn sighting in years. That's why some people believe them to be extinct. However, if they truly are immortal, then they're still outside waiting for someone to come across them. But then how do we kill them? We don't. Standard procedure for dealing with Hellspawn is to drive them away from populated areas. It sounds like Hellspawn is quite a intense creature, though that's only if we come across them outside of town. They may be immortal, but they are miasma monsters, so the Kioma drives them away. Who's the Kioma? Though ideally we wouldn't deal with them at all. These are just precautions that we have to learn. Okay. That mana over there is kind of creeping me out. Oh, is that mana the race thing again? I'm just remembering now from last time. I mean, she just stands there not saying a word. Casual racism. Yeah, I know Mana don't know our language, but come on, they can try and learn it. I mean, Paladin Amelie did, so why can't she? That's kind of having a little bit of a double standard, right? Just because one person learns a language doesn't mean you should expect every single person to do that, especially since Amelie seems to be quite a, standout person in general. Maybe they just further evidence that they don't really respect people of that race or class or whatever it is. That's horrifying. I heard that revenants are mindless monsters that drain the life away from any living creature. Normal humans wouldn't be able to stand a chance against them. Revenants. Hey, have you heard the last prophecy? Fear the Revenant, the vanguard of ruin. I heard this prophecy was uttered by an oracle about a year ago. 16 years after the oracles fell silent. Pretty scary, huh? Why did they assign me to clean the bookshelves? I'm the shortest one here. I should have gotten a mana to do it. There again, there's this casual racism kind of subtext going on here, I suppose. Huh? Racist? What are you talking about? Look at them. Mana are freaking tall. Okay, so there's this aspect, I suppose, that humans here are quite cognizant of the idea that they might be being racist. So there's there's that conversation happening in this universe, I guess. But then they're like, no, I'm not being racist. Mana are freaking tall. I mean, the shortest one I've seen stands head and shoulders above me. Which is fair enough, but it seems quite not very apt when Mana seem to be the race relied upon for all the little details and every single little task you have to do. Have you heard the Azalan precept? The mind is the weapon, the blade is a tool. We need to educate ourselves in both combat tactics and enemy info, otherwise we'll never survive. Okay. So there's this concept that the mind is the weapon, I guess. Why is there a knowledge test in order to even begin training in the Knights? I want to help by slaying monsters, not by reading books. Yep, I guess both go hand in hand. This might be a legitimate argument. Depends. The infused are in here researching the fog and are not to be disturbed. You can't come in. I seem to remember something about the fog from Sunder, so I'm starting to think and remember that I think Prayer of the Faithless is in the same universe as Soul Sunder. I just can't remember where it is in the timeline. The previous game, Soul Sunder, that is. I have to say, being in a fused must be hell. Not only does it mean you have a magical relic planted inside your body. Oh, infused means you have like a literal relic inside your body? That's interesting. But you can't go anywhere outside the castle without a knight to accompany you. But they willingly chose this path, so I guess they can't complain too much about it. Still, it must be pretty brutal. Okay, that seems like a fair judgment. Knowledge Wing 2F. I agree with the professor. The sealing of purgatory, the oracles losing their power of prophecy, and the emergence of the fog all took place at the same time 16 years ago. Was this during the events of Soul Sunder? I forgot. Too many events at once to be a mere coincidence. This is making me think I should have replayed Soul Sunder before this, but hey, it is not a short game. It's another mana, I suppose. What, just because I passed my proving doesn't mean I'm done learning. Now that's a good attitude. Postgrad. Here's what I don't get. Purgatory didn't just seal itself, right? Someone had to go in there and stop it. Yet the knights combed the area afterwards and found no one. Did they escape us somehow? The fog is everywhere, this much is certain. Well, anywhere that isn't protected by one of the Kioma, that's how we stay safe. Okay. Oh, the Kioma, that's right. Are they the little lights that we were wielding, or is it the actual beings? I forgot. But a little to the east of our kingdom, there's a massive cloud of condensed fog called the Deep Fog. No one has ever entered the Deep Fog and come back alive. If the Kioma from the settlements covered by the Deep Fog is enough to keep them alive, we'll never know. We can only hope that they're alive in there. What is the Kioma? It's coming over my head. There hasn't been a single prophecy for 16 years. Then one oracle suddenly invokes what we call the last prophecy. Fear the Revenant, the vanguard of ruin. Times can't really get much darker than this, can they? I'm just going to turn the music up just a teensy bit. Hopefully it's not too overwhelming. I've heard the oracle who gave the last prophecy was branded a heretic and was put to death. I wish I could say I didn't understand why. Anyone would be scared if someone predicted the actual end of the world. There's these end of the world vibes going on. I've heard this game has apocalyptic vibes. If you hear some sounds in the background, that's just I'm near the bathroom. Some of my little cousins like to play around. Still though, the one oracle who didn't lose their powers when the fog appeared was put to death. I'm sure humanity could have used some of that magic right about now, you know? Yeah. Unfortunately, the reality is we can't approach purgatory anymore. It's well within the deep fog now, and no one has ever come back from there alive. Whatever mysteries purgatory holds will remain undiscovered. Interesting. I remember maybe in Soul Sunder, did we go into purgatory? Or maybe during our dreams we're going into purgatory. All the speculation from me forgetting a game. I'm assuming this game is open to anybody who hasn't played the originals. I'm guessing we actually can't go in there. Okay. Okay. So we've kind of been around the place. We've talked to her. Well, I talked to her off stream. Sorry about that. Wait a minute. Let's walk around a little more. There's a little interesting thing about this is that usually you have to press X or like the back button, or you press down and then confirm to be ready to cancel an action. But it's in this case it's the default is to wait, and that can kind of trip up players. It's hard to know, but I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. Mia has left the party. You don't look nervous at all. Yeah, I'm ready to go. No matter what the outcome, I know what I want to do. How about you? I just want this day to be over. It seems Mia is a little less enthused about the entire sort of proving process as errors. Everyone, the time has come. Before we begin, Commandant Vanessa would like to have a word with you all. Commandant, if you would please. Oh, I like this music. I have never been one for pretty speeches. Broad claims of peace and prosperity in response to concrete threats is a sure sign of weak-willed idealists. So it seems like Vanessa looks down on idealists. They're more of a practical style, like, battle-worn. It is precisely this reason why I was given the position of commandant by the King of Ursula himself, when I brought in the monstrous Thane Wilder and hung him myself in this very hall. There have been whispers and rumours floating throughout this kingdom of the fog's constant growth, that there is nothing we can do to stop it. I will speak plainly, they are all true. Oh. It has been 14 years since the fog first emerged from the northern kingdom of Overturia. In all that time, it has not shown even the slightest signs of fading away. In fact, it seems to only get worse. Not only has it expanded enough to consume the kingdom, but from it has formed a myriad of monsters, each one more fearsome than the last. Even the mana, as human as they may appear to be, were still born from the same fog as those bloodthirsty monsters. I can see where the sort of fantasy racism would come in, that sort of fear of the unknown, when people are thinking about the mana as they come from the same fog as the monsters over there. It's very easy to other an entire different culture when you believe that it's associated with savagery, when oftentimes that's not the case. Savagery is a weird, outdated concept as well. As things stand, it is all but inevitable that the fog will consume both Ursula and our neighbours in the Eastern Empire of Vergio, and the monsters within will show no mercy to any living creature. Looking at these facts, people of lesser minds would believe that the end of the world is inevitable, that there's nothing we can do to save ourselves. But you are not here to be of lesser minds, are you? You're all here today because you aim to be something greater, something that could defy the supposed end of the world. So it seems like Vanessa is sort of very much against the idea of an end of a world occurring, and from what I remember from, say, the description of this game, it's a lot to do with the end of the world, so maybe I'm starting to think maybe the protagonist's idea is that the end of the world is possible, and to deny that the world can end denies our very sort of fragility of existence, which is it's important to consider, perhaps. The mind is the weapon, the blade is a tool. That is the Azalan precept that's been ingrained into every single citizen. As Azalan Knights, you aim to be the shining example of that saying. Today, you will put your training to its final test. If you can survive this trial, you will be found worthy of carrying on the battle. If there is anyone here who does not believe they can see this trial through to the end, leave now, while you can still call yourself an Azalan. But understand this. Those whose bravery and determination are limited to mere boasting have no place in this kingdom. So Vanessa is very much about, like, actions that speak louder than words, I guess. Very well then, from this moment onwards, all doors to safety are shut. There is no turning back. So it's kind of like, you stay here, if you want to leave now, sort of thing. They've had those kind of moments and stories. I remember there was like, in the Bible, they had this story of Gideon where Gideon, spoiler alert for the Bible, would like filter people based on their abilities to fight and their willingness to fight. He asked a few, see if they wanted to go home, and then about half of them went home or something. Then he saw how they drank from a well, and if they daintily brought the water up to their mouth instead of just slurping straight from the fountain, then they would continue on. They were like the manly fighters, and he had like several filters to see who were the best of the best warriors, and I'm guessing this is sort of what they're doing here. If you want to be part of the war, you have to be proven and broken. I'm guessing that's what the general sentiment is. The first matches have already been decided. When I call your name, you are to approach the execution site. Ear Wilder and Butch Veringer. What a name, Butch Veringer. Looks like I'm first. Good luck, Ear. Well, are we gonna fight? Hope you're ready. We are. I am ready. I feel like I'm ready. Well, how did he already get there when we were equally supposed to walk there at the same time? Butch. Heh, you sure have rotten luck going up against me in the first round. It seems like Butch has a high estimation of their own abilities. You said it. I was hoping I could get matched with someone who could provide me a decent warm-up. Air is fighting back with those words, a decent warm-up. He's getting mad. The hell did you say? If you two are ready, then begin. Okay. I've forgotten how to actually, fight, but I'm pretty sure drive, windbreaker, guard break, one foe. You damage their SP. That's right, you can see their SP like this. And then I will focus myself. How come I can't windbreak them again? Not too sure. Windbreak them again. The draw weapon within the game must be quite important in the game. It won't be there for nothing. Oh, well, what? I'm trying to examine them. We'll see what they've got. Let's just attack them, I guess. And attack them again. Windbreaker. Take their SP down. Focus a bit. And attack. That was fairly nice. There's no fun in an easy fight anyway. Butch, you have lost and cannot join the ranks of the knights. You shall remain as a soldier, staying within the city. Okay, so there's a difference between soldiers and knights, and if you want to be a knight, you have to get through the proving. So far, so good. How are you doing, Mia? It was tough, but I'll pull through somehow. So Mia won her fight, I'm guessing? Nice. The next round of the proving will now begin. The first match will be Airwilder and Cyrilla Froud. Froud? Okay, I can do this. Okay, let's go. Should I turn this music down or keep it at that volume? Seems nice. Seems well enough. There's no distinction, I suppose, between the whatever gender the knights are. It's just man versus woman versus, whoever. We're just fighting. Now you're ready to talk. Of course, it's only polite to introduce yourself to your opponents. I see, always prim and proper. Unfortunately, being prim and proper won't get you very far in battle. Especially not to such an uncouth individual such as yourself. It seems like Cyrilla is looking down at him here. Ow, my poor, poor feelings. He's taking it in stride. If you two are ready, then begin. I don't know if that was like a passive-aggressive hurry-up moment, but... Always gonna begin with the windbreaker, just to... Maybe you can only do one of each drive per round you have, I guess. Counter stance? Okay, if you're gonna counter, I guess I'll... Oh, okay. Well, their counter stance went away. I don't know... That was probably a bad idea of me then, to do that. Okay. All their SP is gone. And I'll fight them. Oh, that was close. But we won. Oof, now that's what I call a clutch win. I wonder if there is different victory sort of messages based on how much you've won by. Oh yeah, we got some level ups. Nice. It's funny how he can say both oh yeah and it was a waste of time in the same breath. Cyrilla, you have lost and cannot join the ranks of the knights. You shall remain as a soldier, staying within the city. I wonder if you die, whether it will be game over, or whether you'll just... I wonder if we're doomed not to be part of the knights. Either way. Be interesting to try. I just can't lose, No, just kidding. 2 down, 1 to go. The big one. So begins the final round of the proving. As you all know, in this round, you are to fight to the death. Your will to survive will now be put to the ultimate test. You can hear them in the background. The first match will be Wilder and Mia a la Cruz. So we weren't quite the final match, but we're the second to final match, I'm guessing. So much for optimism. Guess it's time for me to... No, I can't do it. Mia, this is the proving. You knew that it would could end up like this. Mia, don't. No, I can't fight air. I just can't. She ran out. It appears she was not ready after all. Air, remain here. Sorry. Ooh. Air, remain here. I will inform the commandant of the situation. Apologies. Mia, stop. That wasn't the way I'd planned it. Mia wants to sort of plan it in her mind before it actually comes to fruition, I suppose. I wasn't planning on shouting and running off like that. Oh. Okay. I'd wanted to be a bit more mature about leaving, but when the announcement was made, I just panicked. Mia has maybe some, disappointment about the way she acted? You planned this from the beginning, didn't you? I thought we settled this already. I'm sorry, Air, but I just couldn't let them throw you out of Asala when you had nowhere to go. There's something about, selfishness and selflessness that I want to touch on that's a little difficult to define, and it comes when, someone does an outwardly selfless sort of thing, I give you the chance to live. I'm not going to take it, you're going to take it. When it's traditionally seen as a selfless act, but it can be actually quite self-preserving, which is not bad at all. It's just good to clarify that this act is not necessarily clear-cut, she was being such a selfless person. She just decided to choose one version of the events over the other when they'd agreed beforehand about something, which can actually betray Air's trust. It can't be it's never fully clear-cut, Maybe, but you're about to do the same thing for me, so I guess you're an idiot too. But the thing is, Mia, is that it's fine and dandy that, but they'd already discussed this beforehand, and Mia had already agreed to give, that he was going to give her the chance. That to do this is almost like taking something from Air, in a way. But I think two mature parties can suss this out. It is quite a big decision, though. Guess so. It's amazing we can even function. See, there's the compromise that on both sides makes a friendship really work, is that things that could potentially flare up because of, someone doing something against you, or an affront, and then all of a sudden you're like, nope, let's just let it go because we're friends, and that's more important than any of these little things that can occur. It's amazing we can even function. It's gonna suck without you around. It'll be okay. You have food and shelter to keep you safe from the fog. Just tone down the troublemaking and I'm sure you'll be just fine. I think that wasn't what he was talking about, Mia. I think, in a certain way, you're more valuable to him than quality of food or shelter, or even safety in some respects. Those things are good. I mean, more valuable. We need everything we can get, but I think it's okay to grieve something that you're losing. Sheesh. Besides, it's not like this is goodbye or anything, is it? I'm sure your duties as a knight will take you to Honolith every now and then. I've heard that before. It's not always the case. It's like a sort of wishful thinking sometimes. I'm sure we'll have lunch now and again. And then you never have lunch in your life. You never meet up with him. It has to be very intentional. It is a grief. It can cause grief, separation like this, and it's just a part of life, but we just have to do the best we can. If that happens, you'll be sure to look me up, okay? Like you even need to ask. Well, I should probably get going. Take care of yourself, okay? I will. Goodbye, Air. That was a quick goodbye for people essentially leaving each other forever. Not forever, but for a long time. I hope they get a proper goodbye later on. I guess it was too much to ask for you to wait in the execution grounds. Is that sarcastic, or is that her being honest? Them being honest. The best thing that ever happened to this place just walked out forever. I hope you all realize that. Yeah, see, I thought so. It wasn't quite... I think they were belittling the moment, but to Air, Mia is like everything. And it's funny that they worded it there like Air was saying Mia was everything to this whole place as well, as if she was one of the purest of this location. Follow me then. I'll take you to the throne room where you'll be knighted. Allow me to introduce, there should be an R there, introduce the first 5 recruits who have passed the proving. Thank you, Paladin. Newest members of the Azalan Knights, you have risen above the ranks of your peers, and now carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. The fog is coming. There is nothing we can do to stop it. However, with your aid, we can endure it. Continue your training and protect the people. Eventually, a time will come where this fog will be but a distant memory. Until that time comes, lay down your body, mind, and heart for the greater good of our kingdom. Your valiant efforts, 1 L on the valiant, will ensure we realize a future without this dreadful fog. That is all. You may go. And what about the people who didn't make it this far? Got anything to say about them? Seems that Air is quite concerned about people who don't make it to the upper class opportunities of that the castle sanctions as their holy things. You know, what about the people who failed? What are you going to say? Air, what are you? You're just going to give a half-cocked speech and wave us off like we're some kind of annoyance? What kind of crap is that? It didn't seem like that was too much like a... I mean, it was a nice speech. Here is getting quite hot-headed, especially considering his standing and his history. I don't know. He's going quite intense here. Yeah, this is the king of our country you're addressing. Show some respect. I think so. I agree with Emily, to be honest. It's a bit hot-headed. Respect. Mia threw everything away to keep someone like me in this death cult you all call a kingdom. Well, it was necessary because Air was going to throw something away, and I was supposed to show respect to some deflating gas bag that won't even acknowledge people like her. Well, I mean, do you need to acknowledge them? I'm not completely... Like, he's just going straight in with the deflating gas bag type rhetoric when... Yeah, I think we're supposed to think that Air is, at least a little bit hot-headed, but we'll see. I'm out. Being in this place is making me sick. Whatever the fog does to the places it swallows, you all deserve worse. It was a little bit strong, I felt, but hey. Ah, there you are. Let me hop over. Paladin Emily, how'd you find me? Earlier when I was talking to that servant, I saw you coming from behind the castle. I just looked around and saw the path leading here. Well, that's logical. So this is where you always run off to during your training. I like this place. It's peaceful here. Quiet. Unlike the castle and the town. It's all yours. I'm not sticking around this place for much longer. Yeah, so wonderfully gives this location to Emily because Emily will enjoy it here. And where do you plan to go? Honolith? Do you expect Mia to keep you safe there after your little episode in the throne room? Commandant Vanessa has declared your words to the king as treasonous. So all this happened quite quickly. It's flipped, and it's put out a warrant for your arrest. Every paladin in Usla is trying to find you now. Every single paladin? I feel like... Is that a bit strong? Like, because one little kid yells, and now every single paladin is trying to find and it's treason? I don't really get too much of a sort of background for that sort of aspect of the king, but hey. This time, however, your punishment will not be imprisonment. For such treasonous statements, you are sentenced to hanging. The thing is, I haven't seen any hangings in the town either. And I guess you're going to bring me in, huh? You trying to stall for time while the rest of the knights surround the area? No, I've told no one of your current location, not even Vanessa. I've come here in good faith because I wish to speak with you. I understand you're angry, but I must ask that you please calm down and hear me out. Emily is a sweetheart. I understand. Get me out of here with that crap. You may be a mana, but you're still a paladin. And Vanessa's close buddy. Don't act like you understand anything about me. See, I like the way that Air sort of talks about mana in a positive way. See, like, you may be a mana, meaning it's a positive thing. That's a good thing. Like, you're down with us. You're here with us. You speak for the common people. But you're still a paladin. Like, you're a cop. I don't know. And Vanessa's close buddy, meaning you're buddies with someone I really dislike and who represents the things that I'm very much against. Don't act like you understand anything about me. Do you remember that conversation you overheard before between myself and that servant? In the 8 years since Vanessa first brought me here, this is how I was treated. Like an outsider. Someone with no place in Ursula. You got these little orchestral ding ding dings coming in your ear. It's like setting up a real atmosphere of tension. For the vast majority of Ursulans, I imagine it would be no small relief if I were to leave and never return. Of course, because everybody in the town hates her kind. Truth be told, the thought has crossed my mind more than once. Oh, that's like an admission? Emily's confiding? I kind of want to leave, she's saying. And yet, here I remain. Do you know why? Because I do not fight for the people of Ursula. They care nothing for me, and so I have no love to spare them. Instead, I fight because Ursula, as full of horrible people as it is, still has someone in it that makes life here worthwhile. Who is it? Who you fighting for, Amelie? To you, she is a cruel, horrible commandant. To me, she is a dear friend who I rely on for support when the trials of Ursulan life prove overwhelming. So are we saying that Vanessa is kind of like a double agent in amongst the ranks? If something were to happen to her, I would have no reason to remain in Ursula. The people here would rather lose themselves to the fog than try to reach out to me, and so I say leave them to their fate. So, Amelie's here for one reason and one reason only, Vanessa. It may not be the most noble of ideals, but noble ideals require incredible patience. Patience that, frankly, neither of us have. So here it feels like Amelie is like saying we're both very impatient people. We can't really stand, what's happening here. Wow, maybe you do get it after all. Mia's home village of Honolith is closer to the fog in Ursula. It's only natural that Honolith will be claimed first. When that happens, she'll have nowhere to go but back here. So it seems like Amelie's trying to get him to stay here to wait for Mia to come home. I understand that you're currently wanted for treason, but I believe I can convince Commandant Vanessa to drop the charges against you and allow you to remain in the Knights. It seems funny, if Amelie is good friends with Vanessa in that kind of way, where Vanessa is the only special to Amelie, maybe it'll be more than convincing. Maybe it'll be like just, I guess, friend. Well, it would take convincing to make Vanessa go against her to betray her very status in the kingdom just to save some person who she doesn't really care about. She'd have to do it on behalf of Amelie, and Amelie would have to stake her own livelihood on Air, which means that Amelie cares about Air a lot as well, funnily enough. I will ask you again, will you hear me out? I wonder why Amelie cares for Air so much. Maybe it's because she sees something in Air, like as we've been talking about. Maybe Amelie sees herself in Air with the rebellious qualities, and just even perhaps Air has something that Amelie does not possess. It's the courage to sort of speak out, to be brash. Afterwards, if you still wish to leave, then there will be a small window of time while I report this location for you to make your escape. So even either way, Amelie's sort of waiting to report it because Amelie's on Air's side. Alright, I'm listening, but no promises. Had you not said what you said to the King of Ursula, you would have been assigned to a small squad of knights under the command of a paladin and performed the remainder of your service with them. My proposition is simple. You will do exactly that. However, the paladin you will be assigned to will be me. Well, that's a good paladin. Seriously, that's your plan? Look at his eyes. Just do the same thing that would have been done normally? At face value, you might be correct. As I've mentioned before, unlike the other paladins here, I do not have a squad to command. Okay. Every task that Commandant Vanessa assigns to me, I must complete alone. In truth, my title of paladin is merely a pretense. Oh, so they've given this title to Amelie just because diversity points, and I am all for diversity. True diversity. I love it, but I don't like when they just like do the face value sort of. Hey, let's just give it, like just because. But it's like, hey. But even still, we recognize that Amelie's an incredibly good paladin. It's just like, but they don't even care about giving her any roles beyond that. They're just like, we got a paladin who is a, this type of person. That's it. You don't get any more say. You don't get any more authority. It's just a name only. As I typically operate alone, I carry out tasks that would be too cumbersome for a larger squad, such as intel gathering and scouting missions. So Amelie is like a stealth paladin. Should you accept my offer, I will take you under my command and assume all responsibility for your actions. In return, you will assist me with these tasks. As we both have a common, shall we say, disposition towards the people of Aslan, they both hate Aslan, I believe this arrangement will suit you quite nicely. What do you say? Now that sort of outburst makes a lot more sense if there's been this building resentment of like... It was indicated in the intro, but I didn't quite catch it, and perhaps I forgot since I'd played part 1 of this a while ago before I got sick. But it was just that this utter hatred for this entire city. Not one of them is cool. It's only Ir, Mia, and Amelie. They're the only cool ones. Everyone else sucks. You really think this is going to work? You do realize I'm going to be swinging from a noose if this goes south, right? Very dire consequences. If you decide to come along with me, I'll fight relentlessly to keep the noose away from your neck, regardless of Commandant Vanessa's decision. Of that, you have my word. Fighting for a few people in Arsla, not for Arsla itself. Gotta admit, that's the last thing I expected to hear from a paladin. But you've got me interested, count me in. Wonderful, then let us return to Arsla Palace. I just hope you don't expect me to start calling you ma'am. Not at all. If anything, I prefer you drop the paladin from my name. I would like to work together as your partner, not your paladin. There's respect already there. It feels like the respect has been unearned, because I respect Amelie greatly, but I don't fully respect her yet. I don't like the idea of the partnership coming so quickly. I'd like Amelie to still be some kind of like superior, but hey, But I guess she's using bargaining deals. She's getting him in on the, hey, you can be my partner, you can be my equal. If I were Heir, I'd be a little bit suspicious because, and you'll be equal to me. I'm like, hang on, this is getting a little bit too generous at the moment. I don't think, I'd feel a little weirded out, but, I feel a little suspicious because of her intentions. But that would be just my opinion. I like this deal already. Boop, boop. Let's climb down. Haha, I can practically see the steam coming out of his ears. It's funny though, how are we able to return if she hasn't given the go-ahead yet? I would have thought everyone would be like, there he is, arrest him, Just wait, you little punk. One of us will catch you in the act one day. I just don't get it, man. Why does Mia keep hanging around with Heir? Oh, this is the same as the rest. Same as the last time we talked about it. You? Please wait, Commandant. Oh, so only the Commandant knows about it. Actually, so now I understand. Only the Commandant and the Paladins knew about the order to arrest him. Everyone else sort of didn't know about it. It was like a covert operation to get him. Huh? I sincerely apologize on behalf of my subordinate. He did not know what he was saying. What are you playing at? Just as it sounds, Era survived the proving. Therefore, as a paladin of the Asalan Knights, I will place him under my command and assume full responsibility over his actions. You dare defend one who speaks ill of the king. This is the final straw, Amelie. An example must be made of him for the greater good of Asala. It's funny how she said, final straw, an example must be made of him, rather than even pointing anything at Amelie, because we know that Vanessa likes Amelie enough to not punish them. Perhaps. But this is Air we're talking about. How many times has he spoken out against authority? Against you and even me? I hardly think that a few contrarian remarks against anyone, even the king, are anything noteworthy coming from his mouth. Ouch. As the paladin responsible for his behavior, I ask that you please overlook this one act of indiscretion. If that is not enough, I think the three full stops, the ellipses should be next to the H instead of the I there. I shall take whatever punishment you deem fit. Wait, what? Why would... I'm trying to save your life here. I would appreciate it if you would allow me to continue. Be quiet. Do you realize that, if you were anyone else, you would have hung alongside him for trying to do what you're doing? Yes, Commandant. I still expect severe punishment for failing to control him, as we explored earlier. You've got to be the most annoying thing in my life right now. It's times like this that I wonder what possessed me to promote you to a paladin. I believe your words at my induction were, even a mana like yourself can prove useful on occasion. It's like this begrudging respect, I suppose. Air Wilder stepped forward. If you even put 1 foot out of line again, no one will be able to save you. Do you understand? Yeah. Air, the Commandant has chosen to spare your life. The least you can do is show gratitude. I guess so. That was gratitude, right? I understand, Commandant. Thank you for your mercy. I suppose that is sufficient. This is going to take some explanation. I doubt His Highness will simply nod and accept that the one who defamed him will still serve in the Knights. Do you have a plan to convince him? Do I look like a dang politician to you? I didn't think justifying treason would be my task list today. I'll have to figure something out. In the meantime, it would be best if neither you nor Air were in Arsala, in case he tries to issue a royal decree above my ability to stop. Now's as good a time as any to issue you an assignment that has been on my desk for some time. I understand. What would you like us to do? I've been getting reports of strange activity in the nearby village of Honolith. Well, that's where he wants to go, right? Because that's where Mia is. Based on the descriptions, I believe a large deposit of terraluminite may have been discovered. Mineral. However, the locals are keeping silent about it. Terra what now? Terraluminite is the material that makes up a composition of a magical relic. Think of it as a container of energy. Okay. However, it excretes an extremely toxic aura in an unprocessed form. If the citizens of Honolith come in contact with this material as it is now, there will be trouble, and that's why you must make your way to Honolith as soon as possible to confirm if these rumors are true. I don't want vague rumors. Give me cold, hard facts, understood? Yes, Commandant. Honolith, huh? That's where Mia lives. Yeah, we gathered that. I don't think he needed to say that. That boy is more trouble than he's worth. For your sake, I hope you know what you're doing. Wow, that was close. Yeah, if looks could kill, I'd be swinging already. Still though, wait, if looks could kill, I'd be swinging already, meaning that the looks that Vanessa were giving to Air were like daggers, and we would be combative against that, I'm guessing, in return. Still though, you took a huge risk just to keep a troublemaker like me around. I promise I won't forget this. Think nothing of it. From this moment on, we're partners. I'm sure you'll have many chances to repay me. Well then, before we set out, we should probably stock up on supplies for the road ahead. We can purchase gear from the quartermaster and the power wing to the east. I have some equipment and funds of my own that I'll share with you. Okay, good. Let's get some, first aid kit. Oh, that went so fast I didn't even know what I got. That's the problem sometimes with plugins like that. I don't even know what I receive. I'm guessing it's just all this stuff. Tiny compact throwing knife. That's a usable item. And I remember there was lots of offensive usable items in Soul Sunder, and that was one of the cool aspects of Soul Sunder that I enjoyed quite a bit. Alright. We are level 5. Amelie is level 16. Suggesting a big gap of experience. I like when gameplay aspects, suggest that kind of thing. I think we've already listened to all of these guys. Oh, right. I should have read that because I thought this was just the same dialogue, but it's not. That's so. Well, they just said something like, I thought you were arrested. No, I'm not. They, Commander Vanessa, pardon me. I think that was the the gist of that. That's so. Well, if you're lying, you're both going to hang. No skin off my back. In that case, then I guess you'll be needing equipment. Yep, what do you have for me? Well, normally we let you have free reign on whatever you like. However, we're pretty strapped right now, so I narrowed it down to a few starter packs. You can eventually get whatever you want, but it's going to cost you. Wow, seriously? You want knights to be as prepared as possible for whatever fights lay ahead? But not until they buy gear from the people they're working for? Hey, you're not the only one I distribute supplies to. Besides, you know the precept. The mind is the weapon, the blade is the tool. Any knight worth their salt won't need an entire armory to get a job done. It's just an excuse, I feel. Well then, first things first, that training blade of yours isn't going to help you out much in the real world. Yeah, because it's a training blade. It's time you upgrade your weapon. What do you like, the knight sword or the knight axe? I like the idea of an axe. The knight axe trades any semblance of defense for raw power. Oh, I do like big damage dealing. Even basic swings with this baby can do some serious damage. Sign me up. Problem is, it's hard to swing around. It won't always land a clean hit. I'd pick this thing only if you're confident in your own skill in battle. Oh, does this mean that it's going to be a harder weapon? This might be fun to wield, actually. Rather primitive and restrictive compared to the knight sword, but was designed for one job, damage. And in that one job, the soldier axe excels. Let's take the knight axe. Alright, next. I like this idea of like customizing your starting equipment. You need to choose which armor you want, the gorilla or the infantry. I do like the idea of having gorilla armor. I think it goes with my personality more, but we'll just see what it has in store for us. The gorilla set contains light armor. While it doesn't offer much protection against attacks by itself, it gives a boost to your stamina, which you'll need to perform more actions. And I'm guessing like actions will be quite fun to use with the high damage, perhaps? If you're confident in your stamina management, give this set to give you more options. What were the choices? What does the infantry give me? The infantry set gives you medium armor, which provides more protection for physical attacks than the others. If you rather err on the side of caution, you'll enjoy much more protection than you would otherwise. I think I'm going to go with the risky, the gorilla one, because that goes with my personality of my character, but also I want a little bit of a challenge, and I want to be sort of like a low defense, high attack sort of build. Let's go with that one. Alright, here you go. If you want anything else, I've got to sell it to you. Alright, yeah, now that you have your equipment, go ahead and purchase whatever items you deem necessary. Huh, me? I'm interested in seeing what sort of gear you consider to be most important. Just as a quick rundown, healing items like first aid kits are the only way for us to restore health. If we run out of those, then we'll be in real danger. However, attack items such as the throwing knife can inflict damage without being reduced by the target's stamina. Keep enough of those on hand to inflict quick and heavy damage. So I'm guessing that we already own 5 first aid kits. So we don't need too many of those. We've got 3 throwing knives, 3 water flasks. We can use guard to... Wait, I should move my self. We've got 3... we've got 3 water flasks. Got a throwing knife. Do we have a tomahawk? Small throwing axe? Okay, okay. Explodes with massive force. That one adds bleed. I reckon maybe we'll go with this. We'll get 2 first aid kits. We'll get another adrenaline flask. We'll get a tomahawk. And we'll get another water flask. Perfect. Well then, if we have the supplies we need, let us make our way to Honolith. I'm going to bring myself back up here. Nice. I think we've talked to everyone in here, so we shouldn't have too much trouble just skipping past everyone, unless they have something new to offer us, but yeah, I don't think so. Ah, it's dusk. Is it different lighting, or is it the same? So what are we doing now? Where do we go? Down here, I'm guessing? I'm not sure what happened. Even before the fog blocked the route, his letters just stopped coming. I hope he's okay. So I'm guessing that's talking about a soldier. I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. Ursula and Virgio aren't exactly hostile to each other, so I don't doubt that he's being taken care of. Okay. So it's just a brother from another place. We're well healed, so we don't need to be here for a while. That woman sitting by the table keeps talking about this thing called a sky. Can't say I've ever seen one of those before, but it sounds nice. So can we literally just not see the sky in this? Is there something covering the sky? It's awful to think that a few steps outside of Ursula takes you out of the range of the Kioma. Without its miasma burning powers, you'll get overrun by monsters in no time. The children may not remember, but there was a time when you could just look up and see the bare sky. It was blue and cheerful, and the sun cast a warm ray on your face. Now all you can see is fog. The sky and the sun may as well not even exist. It's just the fog, isn't it? The inn doesn't get much business nowadays. With the fog on the rise, only a few people from the village of Honolith travel far enough to make it here. So Honolith is like the main town that's close to Ursula, I'm guessing. Oh, knights, Commandant Vanessa ordered us to give you meals for free. I'm all too happy to oblige, though, since you all do so much for us. Come, take a load off and have a meal on me. Okay, let's eat. Is that like the equivalent of like sleeping in other inns? So that you don't have to sleep in this game to pass a day. I've always noticed that about games, that you can sleep an infinite amount of times and it won't make the events of the story sort of keep on going. I don't understand the reasoning behind Paladin Amelie's, status as a paladin. It's a pretty ironclad rule that mana are not allowed into the military, yet Commandant Vanessa handpicked Amelie herself. She's right here. On top of that, isn't the Commandant on record for her hatred of the mana? Yet if she makes a public appearance, Paladin Amelie is almost certain to be right by her side. It would have been great, perhaps, if there was a conditional branch there that detected if Amelie was there, and there was some sort of wait, oh, Amelie, you're here. Or so, I don't know. It just seemed weird that they were just talking about her when she was just exactly present. We're getting a surprising amount of supplies from Honolith, all things considered. I thought they would want to keep their food and equipment to themselves. Looks like our knights dispatched there are doing a great job of maintaining order. Well, that's definitely a conclusion to draw from that. Can you believe that rotten Gale? She had the gall to start spreading those nasty rumors about me. I mean, here I am, just trying to make an honest living as a castle gardener. And she goes around starting to make these disgusting rumors about me just because the king liked my design instead of hers. Hold the S key? That's just a skip. So that's telling us how to skip, conversations. That's quite funny. It was about this time 7 years ago that Paladin Fainwild assassinated the Prince of Ursula, right? Man, I still have a hard time believing it. It just goes to show you that people are always hide a side of themselves you never expect. Paladin Wilder had always been a gentle, even-tempered soul. I think the game is sort of foreshadowing this idea that Paladin Wilder was either possessed by some evil force that, caused them to wild out and do something, or they were just painted badly by, the kingdom to be an evil guy when actually, the arc might be that he discovers his father is not actually that bad. Same with Vanessa too. I used to think she was just a thug when she joined the Knights. Now I think she's the only one keeping the city together. It's interesting to hear that Vanessa has a background of rebellion or even poverty, based on how these people sort of talk about her. That not everyone remembers that she came from lowly, quote unquote lowly origins, meaning she's one of the people, she's not from nobility per se. My lock's broken again. I'll have to visit the blacksmith soon. I'm guessing all these unmarked doors have, no way to continue through them. Okay, here we are on the world map. World map time. Darkwood Ursula entrance. Here we are, the Bracalian Darkwood. Yep, just as creepy and desolate as I remember it. Ah yes, you had to come here as part of your training, correct? Yep, each recruit must have at least one monster kill on record to qualify for knighthood. So this is not your first time in battle. Yeah, I've dealt with them before. They're not so bad as long as you know what you're doing. Then again, I was with a whole squad of recruits, and we never went too far in the woods. So this is kind of giving a little bit of background as to why Air has, you know, some battle experience already, and they're level 5 or whatever I am, even though they've got less experience than us, like Amelie, I guess. Well then, let's get to Honolith. Lead the way, boss. Actually, how about you take point? Huh? Me? It is more than obvious you are comfortable fighting foes one-on-one. However, you are not alone anymore. It is important that you learn clear communication with those fighting alongside you. You look uneasy. That's just me barking orders? I don't know about that. Yeah, out in the wild, our lives are in each other's hands. Clear, effective communication is an absolute basic necessity to ensure survival. Fair point. Alright, I'll give it a shot. Do not think of us as two warriors. Instead, think of us as one fighting team. Do not hesitate to use me to cover your weakness in battle. I'm guessing we're going to use Amelie to cover our weaknesses. I just reread what was on the screen. Take a good look at our equipment and abilities before moving forward if you have not already. Afterward, analyzing opponents should give you an idea as to the best method to dispatch them. Huh. Our first mission is a team. This should be interesting. Okay. What's her abilities? Damage and drop of target's power. What's their power? Physical, pierce, foe, skill. A heavy pierce attack that can bore through stone. It has more power, pierce. Wow, there's a lot of them. Provoke. Aggression. Cures Amelie one ally of all emotional afflictions. Restores SP equivalent to half of Amelie's lost SP. Okay. Damage enemies and removes miasma charge. Miasma charge. Okay. Passive. She chooses to roll with attacks instead of halting them. She has a 75% resistance to stagger. She cannot use a mana's innate abilities. Oh, okay. Okay, so she's a bit of a... She's had something happen to her, perhaps, that has caused her to not be able to use her abilities, maybe? I don't know. Amelie's movements in battle are fluid and precise, granting a 10% critical hit bonus to physical attacks. Okay, nice. Constant betrayals, deaths, and the weight of a dying world have taken their toll, increasing the SP costs of all actions. So Amelie seems like quite a scarred soul, I guess. And as for Air, Windbreaker, yep. Love of Lonesome. Air is filled with joy when he's alone on the battlefield, not counting defeated allies. Air is economical in his use of items. All healing items have a 10% greater effectiveness when he uses them. Okay, he's good at using items. He has a knack for analyzing foes in the blink of an eye. You can press shift when targeting enemy to show their stats. He always held a deep-seated aggression within. His fury is so great that his resistance to fear is high. Okay, interesting. Okay. Let's try Windbreaker. Wait, let's examine them. Okay, we don't know their other stuff, but we do know this stuff here. Windbreaker. Reduce their SP. We attack them. Oh, we can use her stuff. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm guessing, like, cannon thrust. What's power gouger? Reduced power, and then guardian. Oh, the provoke. Provoke is a good one, actually, I suppose. That distributes the SP. Okay, this is interesting. Let's focus. Miasma charge and fire crash. Okay, okay. Windbreaker. Guessing provoke on her. And then we don't have emotional afflictions. We don't need to heal our SP. Damage enemies. Okay, that's good. And it can break miasma charge. Wait, does this person have miasma charge? Oh yeah, they did. Now they both have miasma charge. We need to remove it from both of them, actually. Windbreaker for this one. Now let's use her to remove the miasma charge from this one. Oh, that kills them. And then remove them. Oh, you can't use the same one twice. Okay, okay. Power Gouger. Drop a target's skill. What does this mean? Oh, their skill is high. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to use that. There's already a lot of power here, I suppose. A lot of strategy required here. And I'm guessing it's only going to get more and more ridiculous as time goes on. Yeah, got rid of their miasma charge. And then they're going to focus. Oh, they're not even doing that much damage, actually. We should just attack them, I guess. Oh, maybe that's not a good idea. I just realized. Piercing light. Yeah, they need that focus. I need a focus. Need a windbreak. And then from her, we need to provoke, I'm guessing. Windbreak on them. And cannon thrust. Skill gouger? Nice. How disappointing. Wait, let's keep on using the same maze solving algorithm that I've been trying to use. Okay, we received a tomahawk. Received a first aid kit. Ah, what is the matter? It says dang fog all over. It makes it kind of hard to breathe. You'll have to get used to it, unfortunately. This is the state of the world now. Yeah. Any area left unprotected by a Kioma is covered in fog just like this. However, the biggest threat is the monsters, which thrive on miasma. In fact, they're even capable of harnessing the raw energy to power themselves up during battle. When that happens, the power and skill of the monster will be boosted dramatically. It will regenerate health and stamina and can unleash devastating abilities. Gee, what a happy and fun time that sounds like. I'm capable of disrupting this miasma charge. However, if we are separated for whatever reason and cannot, you should prepare yourself for a storm of power thrown your way for a while in battle. Ah, so there's storms and stuff. Unpredictable events that might happen. What does this ice crystal do? It's just magically charged with the power of ice. First aid kit. We have max. So I didn't know there was a max sort of capacity for how much we can carry. That's fair, I suppose. There's always been this thing in Red Nova's games, the developers' games, about like being able to dodge, sort of dodge attacks and dodge monsters as you go, and that's, I guess, that's sort of like carrying through here. Oh, I never put on the gorilla armor. Wow, I didn't know that I need to put all this stuff on. That's really weird. I thought it would automatically be put on for me, but hey, what do I know? Nothing, I guess. Whoa, I have lots of things now. Guard breaker. Oh, they parried it? Okay. Well, for this person, we're going to do a provoke, because I don't want to die. And then for this, let's Headbreaker? It has a low chance of adding a head injury, I guess. Let's do the Magnum Strike, whatever it is. Whoa, that's a lot of parrying. Bloodletter. Okay, some more wind breaking. Oh, they parry that. I forgot. Need to focus again. How do we get them? Piercing light? Yeah, they got them a little bit. Miasma charge. Okay. Wait, are they poisoned? Need to restore half HP. What's going on with them? Very high power and skill, I'm guessing? Maybe? Okay. I guess that's that. Well, we need to break their miasma charge. And then we can, like, do a cannon thrust. I guess. Wow, this is an intense battle. I'm gonna heal myself. Then we're gonna go ahead and do a head breaker. Oh wait, do they parry that too? Nope, they didn't parry that. Nice. I'm gonna do a Magnum Straight. We were just unlucky before, I'm guessing. Wailing Havoc. The Will to Live. Okay, I got an achievement called the Will to Live. I just want to make sure I know what that is. SP damage reduction enabled you to survive an attack that would have otherwise killed you. Okay. I wonder how many people get that. Oh, that's the most sort of popular achievement. Okay, I don't quite know how to do most of this, but we're just going to use first aid kits like nothing. Increases power for 5 turns. Yeah, we want that. Focus power. Focus, and then probably do some power related attack after the focus power. Okay, so now we will provoke. And then with them, we're going to... We've already got focus power, I think. Increases power for 5 turns. Yeah, we've got increased power. So, can we stack it? No, I don't think that's stacked. Oh well, we're going to use power. Explosive display of force. Now that worked. But I still think they're very strong. I still think they're very strong, you know? Yeah. Alright. Do another one of those. Focus. Windbreaker on that one. Oh, they parried it. Wailing Havoc. Okay. Well, I guess first things first, we have to use like one of our many first aid kits. And then reduce the focus. That's always helpful. Focus ourselves. See, I'm not really sure what the best strategy is here, but I'm bleeding now. I think with Amelie, we can get rid of the bleeding. It says cures Amelie and one ally of all emotional afflictions. I'm guessing there's going to be more than 2 people on the screen at once. Inattentive. What does that mean? Hit an enemy for 0 damage. Some quite funny achievements here. So that was just an achievement that I received. Do I still have... Well, the power... Did that last for more than one? Yeah, I still have the power. I'm bleeding, but I think the healing will actually... Did that heal me? Boost power but drop skill. Yeah, that will also boost my power. Oh, wait. I was supposed to taunt myself. I don't know what I'm doing. This is difficult. Magnum straight, I guess. I don't think I'm dealing enough damage at the moment. Wow. This is difficult. Well, I know for sure that I probably should do this. It parried it. Oh, no. How am I supposed to win this battle? They're just killing us so quickly. And I'm using like 7 first aid kits. I don't understand. Gotta get rid of that miasma charge, I'm guessing. Okay. So first, gotta provoke. Gotta get rid of their miasma charges. I wish that it would show their sort of miasma charge. So like, for example, while I'm hovering over them. Oh, there it does. It does when I press shift. Okay, I get it now. Cannon thrust. Yeah, cannon thrust seems good. Oh, but that's even less than his attack, which is the magnum straight. But we need to focus. Oh, wow. Why are they so strong? Let's get adrenaline flask on Emily. We did need those apparently, so knock it. Do I still have... Oh, I don't have my power up anymore. So we need a rally. Oh, we need to increase power for 5 turns. Yep. And then we need to use Magnum straight. Perfect. Wailing Havoc. Okay. Okay, let's focus and let's go rally and then Magnum straight, so we can do a critical high power Magnum straight. I think that's what we need to do. Ouch. Okay, for this one we need to cures Emily and 1 ally of all emotional afflictions. Wait, why did it not cure Emily of it? Of all emotional afflictions. Oh, blood is not an emotional affliction. Oops. Well, I guess we need to heal self. And I guess we need to... Is there anything to heal bleeding? Nope, we need to do that using... Oh, not even our, you know, our items don't heal bleeding, I guess. So we have to just keep going. Use that Magnum straight, I guess, because we need to use that power buff that we did a couple of rounds ago. Focus up. Yep, we still have our power boost. We're going to do rally. And then we're going to do the next one, which is the Magnum straight. What does grazed mean? Does that mean it's sort of like a half miss? I have suffered far more than this. Let nothing go to waste. Mesmer vials. Well, that was a fun battle, even though it was fairly brutal. I don't know if I'm supposed to fight all the battles, but hey, I'm just gonna dodge as many as I can, I guess. Not as many as I can, but let's focus power, rally, and then Magnum straight. I don't know if I can do Magnum straight. I don't have enough. Wow, that was bad. That was really bad. Oh well, at least we just attacked them and staggered them. Whoa, okay. We need to use her provoke. We need to use a first aid kit on her. And we need to use a first aid kit on him. Okay, I think I'm going to do the focus power. Can I do all three? Focus power, rally, that will take us down to 29. I can't quite do that all in one go. I'm going to focus power first. And then we're going to do just a straight magnum straight, I suppose. Got parried. Oh, I hate when that happens. Why? Why does that happen? Add rage? Let's see what this does. It failed on them. Wow, this is not easy. This is not easy. Okay. Cannon thrust. Wait. Calming aura. Piercing light. Do they have miasma on them? They don't. So I don't need to do that one. Drop a target skill. What is their like high thing that they're high in? Power, I'm guessing. So that you can drop their power. We're gonna drop both of their power, I guess. Oh wait. Yeah, we dropped their power, which I guess means something. We're gonna use him to focus and do a magnum straight again. Hopefully this one will hit. We're gonna do a rally and a focus. Oh, it went away. The critical went away when you focus. That sucks. Oh man, that sucks so much. Why? Oh wow. Death. You died, Dark Souls style. Well, I think I know where I went wrong there, but I just didn't realize that was going to occur. Oh well. Well, I think that has been a good playthrough for episode 2 of this. I'm going to kind of settle down for the night and watch Our Flag Means Death. A really cool series that I'm enjoying. But I really love that. And that really has moved us forward in a lot of ways. I think I'm going to do another episode tomorrow. Now that I'm well, I'll be doing episodes more frequently. So, yes. Thank you for watching. Bye, everybody.